Quiet. Well, good evening and welcome to Leading Ladies, Leading Legacies, Living Legacies. I'm your host, Joy Ruffin, and it's always a pleasure to be with you. You know, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., we bring you a leading lady. And every week, they bring you such interesting information, sharing with you their journeys and what they're about and why they've come to do and love the work that they do. And tonight, we have a lady that, well, you're just going to find so much that you want to take away from our connection because it's all about your voice, your voice. And it doesn't mean necessarily the vocal, even though that's a big part of it. I don't know where all that ringing is coming from, but we're going to take a lot more into finding your voice. Her name is Renee, and she's going to help me with this because every time that it comes up, what I do is I'm able.
Hello, Joy.
How are you, Renee? How are
I'm
you?
great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on your show tonight. I'm so honored to be here.
I'm honored and delighted to have you here. I don't know where all of that ringing is coming from.
I
If it's
don't
mine,
know.
I don't know, but let's just ignore it because everything I have here, I think, is off. Renee, I always have an issue with your name, but you're such a gracious lady that I'm going to say it's Renee Reisch.
Reisch.
Reisch. I want to make you Reisch. It's Renee Reisch, right?
Right. Yes, that's correct.
Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you here because I love your story. I love the
Thank
story
you.
you share, and that story is full of information that's vital to everyone, not only women, to everyone. So, what I'd like for you to do is share with us, Renee, a little bit about how you came to do the work that you're doing and what happened to you that you started to share your mission and make this your journey with so many others. I know it's very transformational. So, tell us from the beginning what happened.
Well, thank you again for having me here, Joy. And back in 2013, I was working for a corporate 500 company, and I had an illness that took away my voice. I always say it took away my spirit too, not just my voice, because when you can't speak and you can't communicate, it's kind of a devastating thing. It gives you a good feeling for being able to, an appreciation for being able to communicate when you can, things we take for granted.
Yes.
You actually don't have a voice and you really can't speak. It's really a tough time. So what happened is I became a prisoner in my own home, in my own body. I was not allowed to be with the public. And I always say the two things, and it's so true, the two things I love most, aside from God and my family, is always number one, is the ability to speak and communicate with others. And when you can't do that, and I no longer could, I was locked away. I fell into a depression. It was about close to 4 months, 3.5 months, that I could not be with the public. I couldn't be outdoors. I couldn't be with anybody. Couldn't see my family, my friends. I was just locked away because I was so contagious at that time in
How,
2013.
I missed it, Renee, how old? I don't know what that ringing is. It's going to drive us crazy, but we're going
I
to.
don't know how to turn it off. Go
I
ahead.
have no clue about what it is. How old were you when that happened?
That was, well, I'm going to give my age away. That was
You don't
back
have.
in,
You were a young girl, a teenager.
no, it was 2013. So we're in 2020 now. So it was, I mean, I don't care, but
And
yeah,
and what was it? Was it some type of virus or was it?
it was viral pharyngitis. So it was my pharynx. All there were blisters and sores all over my vocal cords. So doctors didn't know if I would ever speak again. And it's one thing, it's bad enough to be locked away when you can't be with anybody. And, it's another thing when you're in so much pain and you can't fix it. And there was no antibiotic because, like I said, it was a virus. So that is something that you have to just kind of, I don't want to say grin and bear it because there was no grinning. It was just bearing it. And it was I don't know how else to describe it other than extremely sharp, like razor blade sharp feeling when I swallowed.
Oh my goodness.
So to feel something that devastating is is really tough. It was very difficult to swallow anything, to even eat was very difficult. I'm not a, I'm kind of a slender person. I'm not a heavy person. So even swallowing my own saliva or food was very difficult.
Wow.
So yeah,
I can't even, Renee, imagine what that must be like. So that said, you were that way for 4 months and then you began to get better and then
yes.
gradually.
Well, what happened is my doctor, God bless her, she kept sending me for blood work. I had close to 19 vials of blood drawn during that time frame of about 3.5 months, trying to figure out what does she have and how do we fix it and how do we help her feel better. And it turned out there was nothing she could do. All the vials of blood later, there's nothing she could do. And I know, when God brings us to something and through something, there is a reason.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's to help others find their voice. And
Right.
I know I lost it physically, but I also realized, Joy, that I had lost it metaphorically in life because I didn't speak up. I didn't. I was afraid of being judged. I wanted so much to be liked that I didn't use my voice. I didn't say what I felt. I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't. I was always afraid that somebody might not like me if I disagreed with them. And that's not true because the people that are supposed to be in your life will be, and those that aren't. And so before I was getting better, as I was getting better, I had to go through a lot of vocal therapy. And it's really, it's a muscle. Your vocal cords are a muscle. And when they're not used, they atrophy. And so I needed to go through some pretty intense vocal coaching, vocal therapy to strengthen them again. And even as I was going through the exercises, it would go in and out like a rubber band, like it would, come in and out of just speaking. And I would start talking and then I would lose it. And then it would come back and then I would lose it. It was a lot of work, a
Oh
lot of
my.
dedication and determination to get it
Well,
back.
one can really understand how I'm switching back here because something's not working. One can really understand how and why you have come to be not only a transformational coach, but finding your voice is so vital and essential for you and to you because our voice, well, it's for many, in addition to your appearance and your image and how you project and all, it's your door opener. When you open your mouth, it says a lot about you, sometimes before you can even utter a sentence or a word. Is that not so? Yes.
Absolutely true, Joy. Yes, it is. We project ourselves in so many ways. It's showing up. When you show up, it's showing up to life. And I wore this bracelet, and it was of my best friend, who's she's now in heaven. She's one of my angels in heaven, along with my dad. And it
Oh,
says, "Never give up."
yes.
And so I don't plan on giving up on myself or in life or in others because many times it's easy. That's the easy way out is
Yes.
to give up and to throw our hands up. But it's, having fortitude and that, that strength to keep going. And it's having the right people in your life to surround you to keep you going because you know what? You can't do it on your own. I don't care who you are. It's having that love and support around you. I wasn't able to physically have people around me, but my best friend, as I said, who is one of my angels in heaven, she would
Uh-huh.
come up my stairs during that time in 2013 with a mask on, because I was so contagious with food. I never knew when she was coming, but with Gatorade and applesauce and things she thought I can swallow,
Right.
um, to give me and chicken things, protein to try to keep me going, because I really couldn't keep myself going too well. It was just watching days go by and not knowing if I was going to ever regain my voice. And
Mm.
when doctors tell you they don't know if you're going to ever speak again, because they told me that they didn't know if it was permanent damage.
Very scary. Renee, after all of this, did you decide that not only were you going to become a transformational coach, but you were going to find a way for people to use and utilize their voice to their best advantage? How did you package and put all of that together to turn it into an entrepreneurial business for you? How did that all come about?
Great question, Joy. I didn't know. It came very organically. I was in a corporate 500 company, like I told you, and back in 2017,
Yes.
that position was no longer. And I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. I had been doing that for 25 years. The last 10 years of that position, I was in management. And I'm like, I've been with this company for 25 years. What am I going to do now? And it was really interesting that the illness kept coming back to me. And I literally even said to myself, why are you thinking about that? It was 2013. We're in 2017 at the time. It was 2017.
Right.
Like, and that illness kept coming into my head. I'm like, this is a strange thought to have now. It's over. I hadn't thought about it since it happened. Like
Right.
it was over. And it was like a
Type of
knock on the head.
Yeah. What type of business were you in for the 25 years?
It was
How
retail. I was working for a retail
retail?
company.
So you
Yeah.
said,
Yes. And I didn't understand. I didn't know what I would do. And then I'm like, gosh, why am I thinking about my voice? I'm like, that
yes,
voice in my head was thinking about the voice. Like, why is that coming up for me? And I tried to let it go and I couldn't.
release.
Like, what is this about? Why is this here? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. I'm supposed to do something with this and I'm supposed to help others because I knew I had lost it, not just physically, like I said earlier, metaphorically in life.
Yes.
And then I thought, how many others, especially women, don't use their voice? I spoke at an event several months back, and after that, two women came up to me and they said, you know, Renee, I also had lost my voice physically. They told me, they said they were in abusive relationships, separate and apart from each other. They came up to me and they were in physically abusive relationships and they weren't speaking up and they physically had lost their voice. And it's really incredible when we don't use it. You know, there's ways that we are kind of knocked over the head to say there's a reason this is happening.
Yes.
And if you recognize that reason, it's what you then do with it.
Yes.
And that's why I became a transformational coach.
I get that. I hear that, and it's clear. And your timing, Renee, for where we are as women today in this new decade that we're in, 2020, it's really time for all of us to rise, to stand in our power, and to use our voice, especially as it connects, supports, aids, and assists other women to find theirs. One of the most dynamic quotes that I've found, and I thought about you, Renee, when I read this, it said, find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. Stephen Covey. Isn't that great?
Yes.
I know. How could you not? And when I read that, I thought automatically of you because that's what you're doing in your style and your fashion. And we all do it in different ways. And it's so needed because yours was losing the voice and now being able to get the voice back and to speak. But so many people have the voice, but can't speak their truth and aren't authentic in what they want to say and project. So what you're doing is very, very powerful. Very powerful.
And I'm gonna say something out there to your listeners. I recently just wrote a book. It's now up on Amazon.
Yes.
And Barnes and Noble, and it's called Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness.
Yes.
So this is a book about my journey, yes, but truthfully, I wrote it for each and every one of you
Yeah.
to help you on your journey. I have sections in the back of each chapter, after each chapter, and they're called takeaways, and it helps you relate to the journey that I was on and will always be on, but I wrote it in the book to help you find your voice, your passion, your purpose. And I really encourage you to buy it. It is, as I said, it's a thin book, but it is very thought provoking, and I know it will help so many people and change so many lives. There's people, some friends of mine who have already bought it and read it and reviewed it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. They were like, oh my God, Renee, this is like life changing, and how it's already helped them, motivated them, inspired them. I'm just really so excited for your listeners to get a hold of it and really go on their journey. Let me hold their hand on their journey.
Well, so you should be. So you should be, because first off, most everyone in the audience who are here now and who will come later, everyone knows that writing a book is not as easy as a lot of people want to make it out to be. it's a chore, but it's a loving chore because it's something you have to unravel, get up and out, and have it engaging for people. I love
Yeah.
your title. You have all the epic buzzwords in it. Unlock your chains and unleash your greatness. And everybody has, as Les Brown says, greatness within them.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Yes, it's
So
true. He does say that.
the title is so fitting. And for all of us to find a way to unlock whatever is holding us back so we can speak our truth and be authentic in it. So it's a book that's going to be chock full of whatever. Has that book been released yet, or it's on its way?
It is out right now on Amazon.
Good.
It is out there in Barnes and Noble. So I'd love you to, get a copy and, write a review if you feel so compelled. I would love that.
Oh,
It's
and
something that I really feel will change millions of lives. It is written for you. It is, as I said, to take you on a journey that I've been on, but to help you and hold your hand through your own journey. And I just really feel that it's out there. It was written for others, to help them and inspire them.
right.
And we're all on our own journey. It's individual and personal to us, to each and every one of us. And I wrote it to be that person, that vessel for others, to help them find their voice. As my best friend is there for me.
Because Renee, truth be told, and I'd like for you to speak a little bit on this if you would. Finding your voice, people think automatically of the vocal cords and the voice. That's it. But your message, your mission, your purpose, and all of that is beyond that. So speak to us a little bit more about that transformational coaching that you do, which has to do with the voice, because later on we're going to speak to and have those who are here now or who will come for the live get a consultation, a 30-minute consultation, and we'll speak a little bit about that and how we're going to do that. But tell us a little bit more about finding your voice, transformational coaching, and how that all ties together in your mission, your purpose, and what you're about.
Okay, thank you, Joy. So what I do is I take my clients through a program, and there's varying programs. It could be 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long we decide between us. I am very flexible with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about, when I say finding their voice, what does that mean? And that is really about the inner voice.
There you
The
go.
inner voice that creates those fears, those limiting beliefs of speaking out and speaking our truth. And that's the first thing that we address when I begin my coaching, because we have those tapes that keep replaying in our head. And they are those, we say fears, the false evidence appearing real, that people have told us all our life that we make our own truth, but they are not.
Mm-hmm.
It's our own belief system that we've come to believe as being true. And kind of break down peel back those layers of the onion and find out what's holding you back and walk through it together, so to know that you're not alone.
Yes. Well, you mentioned that earlier, and this is one of the things that most all of us who are in the process of discovery of self first and building that good relationship with ourselves, none of us do anything alone. Nothing ever is done. I don't care what your gifts and talents are and how vast and phenomenal and fantastic they are. You don't accomplish anything of merit alone. You need a tribe, you need a team, you need a circle of people around you. And what you have is a gift, and that gift is to be developed and put out into the universe at its best, at its highest. But you have to share that with others to perfect it, blah, blah, blah. So I get what you're saying. And transformational, here's another word that's, as I said earlier, buzzwords, epic words, really. But the timing is here now, and the timing for your book, the work that you're doing, it's all just fitting for now. Tell me, predominantly, if you can, and sometimes it's hard for guests to do this, who are the people predominantly who come to you for support, for help, for you being able to open their eyes and give them their awakening?
Okay, great question. So really my niche is women that I would say, I don't know, 45 to 65, 70, it could be anywhere from, the stay-at-home mom who is, trying to juggle the kids and the husband, and or the single mom trying to juggle it, find it all, find her own voice, find her way.
Yes.
And entrepreneurs and business women who are, you don't think you're like, well, entrepreneur and a business, they're confident, they're out there, they're doing, but there's so many female entrepreneurs and business women really don't speak their truth. I did for a long time, and I'm in this market of an entrepreneur, and before I became that, it's like I was like finding my own voice, finding my way. And I realized being in this space that a lot of just because they're an entrepreneur or a businesswoman doesn't mean they found their voice.
No.
And that's the meeting I was at. They were entrepreneurs. They were female entrepreneurs. So that's really who who my market is. I know there are men out there too that are probably also listening, saying, "Hey, what about me?" I'm certainly open to speaking with men too, because we all have that inner voice that is our, limiter in our own head. So by all means, absolutely. I'm not going to limit somebody that's needing my assistance to say I'm not going to assist them. No way. Yeah. But if you're asking who my main market is, it would be the female entrepreneurs and business women, or, a stay-at-home mom that might be, going like, how do I get out there? What am I, not doing? I need some help. And I will be happy to assist her.
Well, I love the way you express that and explain that, Renee, because I think there are a lot of misconceptions about entrepreneurial people, period. Because no matter, as I mentioned earlier, I have 3 names. One is redundant. How fantastic your gift or your talent might be, if you're not having a lot of other elements as part of your persona, your demeanor, your working ability, you need a lot of support.
Absolutely.
And being your own agent is wonderful, but it entails a lot of work, and you need to gather around you a lot of people who understand you, support you, and want you to be as successful as you want to be. So the drop-off rate is higher than you would think, because oftentimes people can't find people who can support and aid and assist them as they grow and develop. So it's fantastic work that you do. I think that transformation is a word that's probably, as big as it is, it's probably misunderstood, because transformation means that you really got to go deep inside and get to all the
mindset.
Right, of what you're not doing and what you're doing right, wrong, and indifferent. So I think it's great. How did you? Now, I heard you share how you came to doing the work that you're doing, the mission that you're all about. When you started out doing this transformational coaching and started to put together and write this book, you had your moments of self-doubt, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course. We're human beings. So you probably, in the process of deciding that you wanted to do this finding your voice and being able to use it not only for you but to support others, did that just hit you right away? You spoke to it earlier, but how did you get to this mission and purpose? You spoke to it, but yet there's something I think that's missing. When did you decide that you needed to support others to find their voice?
Well, because I knew that it wasn't about me. There's a bigger purpose. This is not about me, having a book, going through this. It's not, it's about me. Like I said, I am going to use your name with the redundant. It's about being that vessel. Like I said, when you're brought to something and through something as devastating as this was, there is a reason. And I did not know it then. I didn't understand what happened at the time. I just knew that I was really ill, and I didn't know how I was going to get better or if I was going to ever recover from that. As I said, when a doctor tells you they don't know if it's permanent damage, and they have you, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I may be a mute. And how am I going to function for the rest of my life? That was like a sharp knife in my gut, because you can't tell the people you love them. You can't communicate as you once knew communication. I mean, it's like a whole another life that you're thinking, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life? And then getting it back was a beautiful gift. that I was given, and I'm going to take that gift and pay it forward to others.
You gave the answer that I wanted to hear, and that I know is a fact because I've been away at a little event and all of this comes through. You know how, I'm sure you know, Renee, how we all know things and yet we don't know, and something's amiss, and you know how to lose weight, but you're not going to maybe put the effort in that you need to, blah, blah, blah. But what you just said is a pivotal point for any transformational change.
Mm.
And this, I'm sorry to say, but I'm happy to say at the same time, it's double-edged. I just got this myself this weekend. You said the two pivotal things here. You said that it's not about you. You knew that finding your voice and what you went through, even though you went through it, it was about you, but now it's not about you. And that you are a vessel to share that awareness with other people.
Yes.
That's so powerful. Very, very powerful.
I know that is why I recovered from it. I know that's why I got my voice back. I know it.
Yeah.
Because when I see how others are positively impacted by my work and helping them through their journey, that is enough of an affirmation and a confirmation
Yes.
to what I'm doing and helping them find their voice
I love
and
it.
discover their own self, their own power within.
Yeah. And here's the ending quote, and I'm going to ask you to share something else with the audience. This quote, I can't remember who said, I think it was Robert Burns, but I'm not sure. It said, when you own your voice, you own your power.
Absolutely.
And there's
So
no doubt that there's truth there. So listen, Renee, tell us about how you want to do the complimentaries for the first three people who come here for the live. And then we're going to tell them how you want to do that. And then we'll go from there.
So for the first three people who see this live, if you would put hashtag live with the number 3, and then I will reach out to you via Messenger. I'll send you my link to my calendar. We'll set up a 30-minute complimentary consultation. And if you're watching a replay, put hashtag replay. And for those first 3 who reach out via, the hashtag replay, then I will reach out to you and again send you my calendar, and we'll set up a 30-minute complimentary consultation.
Fantastic. And then let me just piggyback on and say that because we know that the majority of people come for the replay. So if you come for the replay, and we know that you will, and you're watching the replay and you like what you're hearing and you want to connect with Renee, just put hashtag replay 3. And then she will pick the first 3, and then you'll get your 30 minutes. She'll be in contact with you because your name will be there. And then she will be able to schedule with you a 30-minute consultation, which you will absolutely be enthralled over, because the information that you'll get just in that 30 minutes and will be beyond fantastic. Renee, time flies here. It just goes, boom, it's gone. Are there any parting words you'd like to share with us before I ask you to get to the stage? And I have to find out, excuse me, what this ring is. It's probably in my computer, and I don't know what it is, but I will find out. So thank you for your patience. Tell us what you want to leave us with, and then I'll put you in the staging room and say so long for now.
Yes, there's also a magazine. It's out of London. It's called Soul Central Magazine. And I'm going to be in that the end of this month, and the whole thing with finding your voice. So it is a great magazine, and I really encourage people to get it. It's both digital, and you can also order it. It's a great platform, and I will be in that coming up the end of this month. So it's Soul Central Magazine. So I want to make sure I get it all on here, and yeah, it's just the book will be, about the book will be on there. And it's a global community media outlet that covers motivational and inspirational people from just a variety of different arts and cultural backgrounds. So there's people to check it out.
That sounds good. I'm happy that you're a part of that and being involved with that. I put up here your book, Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness, so that people will have that. What can I say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a pleasure. You've shared some good information with us, and I can't wait to get the book, which I haven't as of yet, but I will. And then in turn, look to connect with you again as you go on and find out and discover all of the things that you're in for. I'm going to put you to the staging room for now and say so long and thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing from your listeners.
You will, you will.
Please reach out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
I never know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. By the way, please make sure that you do hashtag replay3 for the complimentary session with Renee. You will enjoy it. That's a promise. Every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, it's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. We hope that you'll join us here. We're in the throngs of big major changes here, but they will continue onward, and we'll be sharing with you as we move forward. In the meantime, it's always good when you're here. Love to look out and see that you're here, knowing how active and engaged and busy people are. But when you watch the replay, we catch that too. So you be well and take care of you first. Do the best that you can. And remember to tune in every Wednesday night for Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. Signing off for now. We'll find out what that ring-a-ling-ling-ling is and make sure it isn't in our next broadcast. And thank you. Have a great week and a great weekend. Until we connect again. So long for now. Cheers.